Welcome to Forex Films. It is Monday, May the 2nd, 2011. What we have here is a daily chart of the US dollar. We continue to look for a bottom here, and really, right now, we're at the level where I expected us to bottom, but I think we've broken through to a point where we could actually see it continue lower, and our next level of support is this white line here, which is about in the 72.40s. So that's the level I'm looking at next. I'm going to put my longs back on for euro, and I'll talk about a few other positions I have in the works here. Zoom in here. I don't think you can really see anything on the daily except that this last movement down was like the 1, 2, 3, 4. Both of these right here and what we've been experiencing the last couple days are pretty congestive patterns, which is a low probability setup. But we'll have to come down on the time scale and zoom out, and it looks like what we have here is a more traditional A, B, C, D, E for a triangle, and we could certainly go higher and even up to maybe 73.30 before reversing and the next leg down in the dollar. It would be very comfortable position to just sit this one out, at least in the euro, because unless it hits this level, of course, because we're not looking like there's all that much downside remaining. And looking at this week, we actually have an up day for the dollar, and we had Chinese manufacturing come in yesterday lower than expected. In fact, actually lower than even the number last month. So that possibly turned into the dollar buying we had yesterday, which was quickly sold off. But that did look like some good bullishness there for a while. Could have also been possibly related to the news about Osama bin Laden, but as with any news like that, any movement caused by that is quickly retraced, so I would not consider that at all in my trading. So, looking at the euro, of course, it's the same deal. Maybe 47.50 would be a good place to buy in, or if you want to have a wide stop and just let it ride, you might want to buy in again here. We're gonna go out a ways here. And look again here at our bearish movement since 2007. We're very near the top here of what was probably a C wave. Now, I remember this being a long, painful C wave with a lot of possible tops here. And we'll have that only on a smaller scale where we're at right now. We're probably in the same situation here, C, only this is probably a WXY, so this would be C of Y. And because we hit the 148, which we were talking about before, that has high resistance because of coming off a parallel resistance line from, if you connect these two parallel up to the top of here, and then we're closing in on 1.5. I think we're going to have to hit it or at least come close. I am actually going to set one of my targets at 1.498 just to make sure I'm out of that in case it reverses violently. I know there's going to be a lot of offers there, and hopefully that is our ultimate reversal in our US dollar base. But if that doesn't happen, then we're looking 1.55, probably just under like 1.54 something off the top of, or the bottom of this wave movement right here. But I think the euro is held down enough that it's not going to make that next high, and it will just be that much more bearish if it turns around beforehand. Now, something that not as many people are going to be watching is the CAD yen. I took a short on this, and if this holds up, this would be A, B, and then I'm hoping for a C wave movement, or third wave would be even better. What if this breaks out of here? We're looking at least 82 to 81. Down here, 81 would be more equality, and we have this support that was quickly reversed back here, and we could have the same event right there if the yen is actually going to continue to depreciate following that. We could be still in the finishing stages of the fifth wave for the Japanese yen. Bullish. Let's talk about some fundamentals. I usually don't talk about them in the fundamentals or in the video, just technicals, but we have some pretty good fundamental events coming up. Tonight we have Australian dollar has their rate decision for the Bank of Australia, and this is very unlikely to change. Here's the Australian dollar rate here, and it has bounced twice off of 1.10, but there's no real signs of reversal yet, so this could easily go back higher, even up to 1.12. The Chinese manufacturing we already talked about, but we tomorrow have 4 o'clock in the morning for Eastern time, Eurozone Producer Price Index. That could cause some volatility for the euro, maybe sending us into our last high is what I'm hoping for. On Wednesday, we have more releases for the euro, but they're not really as moving. Purchasing Manager Index Composite, of course. Eurozone retail sales, which could be moving, but a lot of times isn't really that moving of event. And then US non-manufacturing composite index for April will also be coming out on Wednesday, but that isn't until 11 o'clock. And Thursday has a very high chance of being a big moving day. We've got 3 big events. A lot of times the US data on the Thursday before NFP can be just as exciting or more so market moving than the NFP, which we have on Friday, of course. But not even that, not counting the ADP employment survey, we have the European Central Bank rate decision and the Bank of England rate decision. Could be 2 very moving events, but from what we're seeing right now, those probably aren't going to change either. And Friday, of course, we have unemployment rate and non-farm payrolls. So definitely be watching your charts Thursday and Friday. A lot of times, Thursday afternoon, nothing will happen. And if we have a huge move on Thursday, don't expect that much for Friday. It just doesn't happen. Alright, thanks for watching. Please rate me, send me any comments or questions, and have a good night.